If you're not controlling your body controlling you. If you're not controlling your thoughts controlling you. If you're not controlling your health controlling you. You know? If you're not controlling what you do, then what you do is controlling you. Yo. Yo. Turn the mic up a little bit. Okay. You know, life ain't easy, man. Life ain't easy. We could sit up here and act like life is easy, but it's not easy. And even though some people may look it easy, or some people may make it look like life is easy, but it's not easy. Life is not easy. It's really a struggle. It's really a struggle. One of the main reasons I think life is a struggle is because a lot of us are missing guidance. A lot of us are missing guidance in our youth, in our younger ages. Like a lot of us are missing guidance in our younger ages, you know. It's really sad though, because a lot of us get to a point in our adulthood where all we do is point the finger at people, blame people because we didn't have anybody. So we're kind of stuck with that victim mentality. And that's a bad trait to have. It's a bad trait to have. It's a bad trait to believe that you're a victim. Like, yes, we went through stuff and don't get me wrong, you can't change your past. And, you know, we were given the cards that we were dealt. You know what I'm saying? We was given the hand that we was dealt in life. But it gets to a point where it's like, no matter what you've been through, you have to take accountability for what you're going through. You know, in this present time. It's like, yeah, okay, say you didn't grow up with, you know, stability or, you know, parents or family or a father or a mother or, you know, things that you saw other people possess that you didn't possess. And don't get me wrong, I understand that it may have not have been fair, but no matter what you do, complaining is not going to change the fact of the way that you grew up. It's not going to change the fact of how things turned out for you. But the moment you wake up and you realize what's really going on, that's the moment that you need to take back your power and take control over your life, to take your life where you want it to be, no matter where you came from. No matter where you came from. That should never change where you want to go, where you want to take yourself. Once you realize that all control is and power is in your hands at this point, no matter where you come from, at that point is when you do take all accountability. At that point is when you do decide that no matter what I've been through, I'm going to get to where I want to be. You have to take back your life. Because a lot of us grew up in poverty. A lot of us grew up, you know, misguided. A lot of us grew up with no guidance at all whatsoever. A lot of us grew up not knowing where our next meal was coming from, not knowing if, you know, the electricity was going to get cut off, not knowing where our parents were, you know, not knowing where we may have been sleeping that night, where we may have been spending the night at. Like, a lot of us a lot of us grew up not even knowing that we were in poverty, that we were in bad situations. We just knew that something wasn't right. But for us, with it being normal, with poverty being normal, with lack being normal, we didn't understand that that wasn't like natural. It wasn't a natural way to live, to go without. Don't get me wrong, you're not supposed to have everything. And if you do accumulate everything, power to you, blessings to you. I hope that, you see it as a blessing and not something that you just, that you can't live without when it comes to materialistic things. Such as cars, clothes, houses, people, places and things. You know what I'm saying? A certain lifestyle. No matter if you earned it or not, you can lose it all in one night, in 1 second. But a lot of us saw it as normal. We saw it as normal. We didn't know we were in poverty. We just saw it as this is just the way life is. Like I grew up in the streets of Chicago where, they would take the side of the fire hydrant off, and that's how we got to swim. That's how we got to have a water park. We weren't going to, public pools and stuff like that. Even though, don't get me wrong, in certain neighborhoods there were those, but when you come from like the true ghetto, the true hood, most of the time the fire hydrant was the closest thing you was gonna get to swimming. So my point is like, playing victim doesn't change anything. Just like crying doesn't change anything. Don't get me wrong. I believe you should shed a tear or two if you feel like, you overwhelmed. There's crying doesn't make you less of a man, and crying doesn't make you a victim. It doesn't make you less than. It doesn't mean you're not tough. The toughest people cry. And I believe it takes a tougher person to cry than a person to hold it in. But don't be a victim. Don't be a victim. Just don't be a victim. Don't be a victim. Because, the thing about victims is that a victim is usually setting themselves up to be saved, not to save themselves. A victim is usually waiting on a superhero instead of being the hero. A victim is spending time being a crybaby instead of patching themselves up, standing up, and continuing the journey. Victimizing your situation will leave you in that situation longer and possibly even dig you into a deeper hole than you're already in. Instead of you climbing out the hole and realizing that the reason you're still in the hole is because of you, no one else. Your past may have dug the future, but your future can be you digging yourself out of it. Instead of sitting at the bottom of the hole and whining, waiting for somebody to come stand over the hole and reach down and pick you up. Because at the end of the day, nobody has to help you. Nobody has to help you. Nobody. But you should learn to help yourself. And the power in helping yourself allows you to help others. Because if you got it, then you can give it. But if you ain't got it, what can you give? Because there's other people just like you who grew up in unfair circumstances, who need people such as yourself to get your stuff together so that way you can help them. Each one teach one. Teach a man how to fish, not fish for you. But a lot of us, like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us would never even be where we at right now without handouts. Especially if we never had nothing to begin with. How do we make it thus far? You got to think about those people that took those small sacrifices or even big sacrifices to help you survive to get here. I mean, yeah, your stomach may have been touching your back, but eventually, you know what I'm saying, you made it to the school and got something to eat, you know what I'm saying, or you know, your parents end up going to one of those pantries that gave out free food to families in need, you know what I'm saying? But people made those sacrifices. Same with the free and reduced lunch, you know what I'm saying? Like those sacrifices were made, I believe it's the taxpayers, but I'm not too sure. Homeless shelters and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of this stuff exists just because people care still. And either you can be one of those people that need, or you can be one of those people that give. And even people who give need. But at the same time, though, like either you can be the person at the homeless shelter or you can be the person that's giving to the homeless shelter. You know, you can be the person that's giving the handouts or you can be the person that's receiving the handouts. You can be the person out in the cold or you can be the person handing out the blankets to the people that's out there. You know, paying for, you know what I'm saying, one night to stay in a hotel for a person just to give them a night out out of the blizzard. You know what I'm saying? One night of peace and a shower and maybe even a hot meal. So you can either be the person that helps those out that's unfortunate and less fortunate, or you can be the fortunate person that, you know what I'm saying, is able to give. Or you can be the unfortunate person is what I meant to say. So yeah, either you can be the person that's helping out the less fortunate and the unfortunate people, or you can be the less fortunate, unfortunate person that needs the help. But I believe we put on this planet to help one another. And I don't believe a victim can help anyone. A victim is looking to be helped. And the longer you decide to play victim, the less people you can help because you waiting on being saved. But here's the biggest thing though. What happens if nobody comes to save you? And even bigger, what happens if nobody comes to save you and you never come to the realization that you have all the power inside you to save yourself, to change your own circumstances, to raise yourself up from the bottom to the top, or even just from the bottom to better than what you were before? You know, going from less fortunate to fortunate, going from homeless to homeowner, going from broke to rich, you know, going from starving to satisfied. And if you have a full functioning body and you got your health intact, ain't nothing stopping you from getting to where you want to be, but time and effort. Time and effort. And you know, this world needs people that are willing to work, to give to those who can't work and who are working through some things instead of being able to work on themselves. Because I really don't judge people who are homeless or who are going through some things that actually are in need. I spend more time judging those people who talk a lot but don't do nothing, who has all the potential but harness all of it to sit on their butt and just whine all the time and point the finger. I feel like it's time for everybody to just rise up and be the best version of themselves. Be the best version of you. Why waste your life diminishing yourself and degrading yourself and tearing yourself down when you can be spending time lifting yourself up, nourishing yourself, and building yourself, becoming the best version of you instead of the lesser version of you, and staying there. I feel like everybody on this planet should want to see the best version of themselves. And the reason I definitely feel like this is because a lot of us have experienced the lesser version of ourselves so long that don't get me wrong, I believe you can get lower and low to the point where you up out of here. You know? But I just believe that we've been the lesser versions of ourselves for so long that we should yearn to see the higher version of ourselves, the abundant version of ourselves, the better version of ourselves. Why wouldn't you want to experience that? Why wouldn't you want to experience better health, better wealth, better understanding, more wisdom, more knowledge, more physical fitness, it boggles me. And don't get me wrong, I've been there before. I've been that type of person where it's just like, I've hurt myself more than I've helped myself. But the reason knowledge is power is like when you learn that being a victim is a choice, you also understand that you don't have to be one. If being a victim is a choice, then being victorious is a choice as well. So the moment you learn to stand up instead of sitting down and just watching your life pass you by and waiting on somebody to pick you up, you use the legs that you have and stand up and continue to walk or begin to walk in the direction that you want to go. Instead of just sitting on your butt and floating to and fro wherever life take you. Wherever anybody takes you, because, if you're not controlling your life, somebody else controlling it. And if we want to go even deeper, if you're not controlling your mind, somebody else controlling it. If you're not controlling this body, who is? And if we want to go even deeper, if you're not controlling your body controlling you. If you're not controlling your thoughts controlling you. If you're not controlling your health controlling you. If you're not controlling what you do, then what you do is controlling you. Here's the thing. The body has an intelligence of its own. The mind is the true controller of this vehicle that we're riding in. But the thing is, this vehicle can be on autopilot. Because the mind is AWOL. It's lost in action. You can feed the body instead of feeding the mind. And the body is always going to go for pleasure. The body is going to chase what feels good, not what is good. But your mind, your spirit, that's going to want what's best for you. But I believe that we all have two bodies. You have the physical body and you have the spiritual body. You have a body that's going to chase pleasure, which is your physicality, or you have a body that wants what's best for you in your heart, your emotional state, which is your spirit. Now, whichever body you feed is a choice. You can take control of either one, but I do believe in balance, but I do believe that if you let your body run the show, 9 times out of 10, your movie gonna end sooner than later. So I don't know. I just think you need to instead of being a victim, take control of what's best for you. Decide what's best for you, and really decide that off facts, not off what feels good. Cause don't get me wrong, like smoking may be fun, and I'm not talking. I'm more so talking, cigarettes. And it's not what you do, it's how you do it. So on smoking in general, but on cigarettes, we know that's not good for you, but some people love that feel. Some people love that feel. So I don't know, man. I ain't have my background pulled up, so that just kind of blew me. But I just want to say, man, take back your power. Don't be a victim. Do not be a victim. Do not be a victim. Do not be a victim. Be victorious. Be victorious. Be victorious. Be a conqueror, not a crier. Be a climber, not in crisis. You know what I'm saying? Stand up. Don't sit down. Bust a move. Don't be the move. You know what I'm saying? Make it happen. Don't let it happen to you. Do things instead of doing nothing. Be somebody instead of anybody. Live instead of just existing. Strive instead of just surviving. Grow instead of just being stagnant. Like, that's what life is all about, is becoming better and better and better and better. Be consistent with loving yourself enough to where you plan on being the greatest version of you. And not just planning, but acting out those actions towards becoming the best version of yourself. Be better, do better. Because this isn't just about us. It isn't just about you. Don't be selfish. We have kids, we have family, we have the youth that look up to us, and people say all the time that the kids are the future, but that's not the truth. The future is us. And we pass down the habits that we have to the kids, who then become the future. But the future is our present actions that they're observing on how to go about living life when they become adults. So if we strive for greatness, what you think they gonna do? Strive for greatness. But if we out here living day by day, being victims, not planning for the future, living this YOLO lifestyle where we just want to have fun all the time, then life for them is going to be a party in the future. And guess what? They going to end up just like we did. Crying about our past and how we've been done wrong, whining about everything, not taking accountability, and out here thinking before they react. And they going to be in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, finally realizing that they literally are just wrecking their lives. Because they not building, they just constantly destroying. Every decision is either going to lift you up or break you down. And don't get me wrong, you're going to make mistakes. But what is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and hoping for a different result. Hoping for a different result. And that's what a lot of us are doing. A mistake is like a one-time thing, maybe even twice. Maybe even twice. And that's actually like pushing it. But a third time, you insane. You insane. You just did the same thing 3 times in a row, got the same results. And you got the nerve to say you going to try it again? You going to keep waking up and doing the same thing over and over and over? I cried yesterday about it. I cried today about it. And I'm going to cry tomorrow about it. Instead of wiping your face off, even if you going to cry, bust a move while you crying. It's been many days, many nights where I cried and still made stuff happen. You know, I cried walking to school. You know, I cried, writing plans and set my intentions. But I never let myself grovel in my victimization, if that's even a word. And when I'm saying strive for the best version of you, I'm not just speaking wealth. I'm not just speaking money. I'm speaking peace. I'm speaking power. I'm speaking control. I'm speaking positivity. I'm the best version of you as far as health. And I mean that physically, mentally, and spiritually. So with that being said, man, never give up. Don't be a victim. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to cry, but never give up. Please don't let go. Please don't let go. Don't give up on yourself, no matter if everybody done gave up on you. So life for life. Save our world. We out.